Alright guys, I'm going to try to address the questions that that people had about the last layer, the corners and so forth. My dogs. So the pattern, now I assume that you guys are talking about flipping the corners versus putting them in the right place. I'll go over both really quick. Let me just get them in the wrong place first. Okay, so when you get the second layer and you're just dealing with the last layer, the way I do it is the corners first. So the first step is you're going to always have two corners that are going to be right and two that are going to be wrong, okay? So I try to find the two, like in this case, the red is correct and its opposite is correct. Now they don't have to be flipped. In this case, the yellow's on top. This face is going to be yellow because the center is yellow. The yellow's on top. However, it doesn't have to be. It could be turned. It's just that the corners are in the right place, okay? So I find the two that need to be flipped. These are correct. So the ones that need to be flipped are going to be here. In other words, this goes here because it's blue and this goes here because it's green. And I put those in front of me on the bottom. I work with it on the bottom for this move and white up. So the two that have to be flipped are here, the good ones are in back. And with that, I drop the right, I flick the bottom, I bring it back up, then I have to rotate the front face down to expose that there, rotate the bottom one, bring the front face back, and then I bring this corner one back by dropping, flicking it back, and lining it back up. That's probably the hardest part of any layer, is that particular movement. That's the sequence that seems to be the most strange, you know. Then if you flip them around, you'll find that they're probably in the right spot. So I got, now they're not flipped, but they're in the right place. So I got orange, green, blue, red, and red, green. So they're in the right place. Now, I think this is the part everybody was being confused with. And all you have to do is remember one movement, okay? It's this right here. I drop, flick the bottom, bring it back, flick the bottom again, drop the right, and flick it twice. Since it's twice, it doesn't matter if it's this way, it's going to line up, or if it's the other way, it's going to line up, okay? So that's it right there. Drop, flick, back up, flick, drop, flick, flick, and bring it back. Okay? Once again, drop, flick, back up, flick, drop, flick, flick to line it back up and bring it back. That's it. It's just and it doesn't really matter where I can do it. Here, it's the same effect. Drop, flick, up, flick, drop, boom, boom, back. Okay? That's it. If you remember, if you do that pattern, it's just a matter of where you do it. But that's it. If you can master the drop, flick, back, flick, drop, flick, flick, back. That's the whole thing, guys. So, all it is doing it with a certain face, okay? What we're trying to find is a pattern where there's only, so this side's going to be yellow, right? Because the center's yellow. I'm looking for one yellow cube in the corner, okay? That's it. And in this case, I've got two. So the whole thing's shot. So it doesn't really matter. I'll just keep doing it until I have one. Maybe I'll start here. You know, the down, I could start here. It doesn't really matter, okay? So down, flick, up, flick, down, flick, flick, back. I'll look, boom. I've only got one corner flip now. So it took one time. That's it. From here, this is it, guys. I put it just like this. If it wound up like this, I still have one corner. Then what do? I put it in the upper left side. That's it. It's as easy as that. I flip it until all three corners are not flipped and one is flipped properly, that is, and then I put it in the upper left. Okay? Then I bring it down to the bottom, okay, upper left, just to orient it. Then I put my white on top, and then I do it again. Now, this is, I'll talk about, I know in the first video I said it gets complicated it can either solve it or it can take 2 times depending on where this is. What you're looking for is the opposite cube, the yellow part wants to be up. In this case, it's facing this way. So all that tells me is that instead of flipping all of them on this try, it's going to take 2. Okay, watch. So drop, flip, up, flip, drop, flip twice to bring it back up. I should have 1 flipped still. Okay, now this is where maybe people are doing it again, but I've got 1 in the corner. I have to rotate it so it's in the upper left. That's the key. Just remember, upper left, always upper left. Okay, but now if you notice, the yellow on the opposite corner is facing up. It's no longer facing this way. When I have a situation like this, what that tells me is that the next round, as long as this if this is in the upper left, this time, and this is facing up, this time it's going to flip them all and solve it. Ready? So I'm here. So down, flip, up, flip, down, flip, flip, back. Boom. They're all flipped. Okay? Now I flipped all the corners. Now I go on to the part where I either flip or rotate the edges, the around the world stuff that I do. But I think the people that were posting things were having a problem more or less with the corners. So I'll try to go over it again real quick. I'll just do the same pattern again, which will mess it up, right? And maybe I'll do it from here. Let me just try it there. Now I have a situation where I don't have any of them, okay? I have no corners. So what do? Well, it doesn't really matter. I just start flipping anywhere. I just run that same pattern. That's it. I'll choose, this is kind of a cool thing. I'll put it down, I guess. It doesn't really matter because I don't have a corner. So I'll just try it from here. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. So down, flip, back, flip, down, flip, flip, back. I look, boom, I've got 1 corner. Okay, what do? Put it in the upper left, always upper left. And then I go back. Now it's in the upper left, I roll it back so that my white's on top. I do the pattern again, down, flick, up, flick, down, flick, flick, back. Boom. They're all solved. Or they're all flipped, I guess. Okay, so I'll do it again, mess it up, and do it again, mess it up, and maybe do it one more time, mess it up. I'm trying to get something that we haven't seen. Oh, maybe we'll go from here. There, now we've got some double pattern, okay? So this is what I don't want. So you're solving it, you get to here, you're like, well, I've got 2 of them, okay? Doesn't matter, try it anywhere. I mean, there's a place to you know, that's gonna work better, but you just gotta you just figure that out. You'll solve it enough times and you'll wind up or find yourself saying, hey, when I have a straight bar or when I have 2 of them, if I put them to the right, they seem to leave me with 1, which I need to flip the 4 corners. So to be honest with you, I haven't done this in a while. I don't remember the best place for this, so I'll just do it, I don't know, with them on top. And nope, I still have them on top. I'll do it again. Oops, let me start over. And okay, so I still have them on top. Maybe now I'll put them to the side because that wasn't working out. And now I have crazy diagonally. Maybe I'll do that again. And ooh, that's not good. I'll put them on the bottom this time. And now I have this crazy thing. If I remember right, when I had this before, I think I put it down here and it seemed to do it. Yes, there I go. Now I've got 1. So basically I kept doing this. Down, flip, up, flip, down, flip, flip to line it back up and bring it back. Okay, down, flip, oops, up, flip, down, flip, flip, back. Down, flip, up, flip, down, flip, flip, back. So that's it, guys, okay? So here I have 1. I don't have any corners, so it doesn't really matter where I do it. Same pattern, down, flip, up, flip, down, flip, flip, back. I look, because I'm looking for 1, okay? Now I have 1 corner. I need 1 corner flipped and 3 not flipped. So this is the ideal environment. If I was like this, I would look at that and say, ooh, I've got 1 flipped, but I need it here. It has to be in the upper left, okay? Then with it there, I put that down so white's up. and I run my same routine, down, flip, up, flip, down, flip, flip, back. And they're all flipped. Now keep in mind, it's either going to take 1 or 2 times, okay? As long as you have 1 and you put it in the upper corner, remember this key point right here. If you have 1 cube and the rest are not flipped, and you put it in the upper left-hand corner, and you run the same pattern, down, flip, down, flip, flip, up. If you run that same pattern, it's either going to do it in 1 or 2 times, okay? This will do it in 2 times because of the orientation of the following cube. So I'm down to 1 cube. I put it in the upper left, okay? I bring it down so my white's up. Now watch. Down, flip, down, flip, flip, up. I look. I'm down to 1 cube. Again, remember it's either going to take 1 or 2 times. In this case, it must be going to take 2. And make sure you put it in the upper left again. I think what some people do is if I say 2 times, there's 1 time, then they run the same routine again, but they're not really doing the second one with this in the corner. This always has to be in the upper left corner. So I put it there. I bring white back up on top, and I run it again. Down, flip, up, flip, down, flip, flip, back. There they all are. All set. And just to do the rest, around the world, remember, I know we weren't talking about that, we're talking about the others, but this is the pattern that you wind up with a lot when that's the case. Put it this way, and around the world, 1, 1, bring it back. This wasn't the, my cube's kind of sticky, but, all right guys, that's it. If you have any more questions, post them, but I hope I addressed it. It's the bottom corner. You're looking for 1 cube that's yellow. If yellow is your bottom, different cubes will have different bottoms. You're looking for 1 cube that's flipped correctly and 3 that aren't. And when you get that, put that cube in the upper left.